Hey there, YouTube. Ghost Jake here with you tonight. Tonight, where I live, because I had to watch Once Upon a Time, Season 7, Episode 3 on Hulu instead of watching it live. And where I live, it appears on Hulu at 2 in the morning. So I just couldn't make it home in time to catch it at 8. So I decided not to even watch it at 8 because I couldn't make it home in time. Now, quite a bit has happened in this episode, right? Okay, so let's get started on the review. Let me say first off, I thought it was a pretty good episode. So I enjoyed watching it at 2 in the morning. So we're a little past 2, but you get the idea. Anyway, let's get started. Now in this episode, it starts off, when it first starts off, it just starts off in the new realm. If I missed the name of that new realm, I am sorry, but I don't think they said the name, what the actual name of the new realm is in the first 3 episodes yet. If I'm mistaken, let me know. So we start off in the new realm. Cinderella shows up on Henry's motorcycle, where Henry's portal was going to open at midnight to go back to probably Storybrooke, was what I was thinking during the flashback anyway. And then all of a sudden, while Cinderella was waiting for Henry, the prince's guards showed up and attacked her. And it looked like she was going to get caught. But all of a sudden, Cinderella was saved by another princess, named, I think it was like Tanya, something like that. And she pretty much just told Cinderella, was like, yeah, I know you didn't attack. Like, yeah, I know you didn't attack. Kill the prince. Lady Tremaine did, and apparently, this other princess leads some sort of resistance against Cinderella's stepmother, Lady Tremaine. So, and then they pretty much get onto Henry's motorcycle and head off to the resistance base. And that is before Cinderella leaves her slipper so that the past adult Henry could find Cinderella at the resistance base. Okay, now we're going to Hyperion Heights, the actual cursed land. Where we start off there in Hyperion Heights, we start off with Henry knocking on the door to Ronnie's bar, aka Regina's bar, and they're pretty much discussing the plans with how to deal with Victoria Belfry. they're trying to like how to stop her from like destroying the garden and installing condos in the garden. So, and since Hook or Rogers in Hyperion Heights, since he is a detective, now he has special access to. He has special access to. He has special access to certain things, so he can get the dirt on Victoria. Anyone who's willing to, come forward and tell. And Ronnie is going to, destroy, not destroy. Ronnie's going to pretty much get people, serve people drinks and listen to people's problems, kind of like a, bar owner is supposed to, barmaid supposed to do, bartender is supposed to do, and but she's going to be reporting to Rogers and Henry, and then Henry is pretty much going to be doing research this entire time, and that research is pretty much doing research and writing the entire time. Anyway, we see we see Henry, we see Rogers. Okay, my bad. We see Rogers going to the police station, and we see Rogers going to the police station, and there he runs into Weaver, aka Rumpelstiltskin's new identity, and Weaver wanted Rogers to put something into evidence for him, and and he says, no, I have this court date I have to take care of, and he's pretty much lying to Rumpel or Weaver the entire time. So and then he goes and meets some guy that Victoria Belfry met in the restaurant and gave a package of money to. And he pretty much arrests him in the restaurant. Anyway, then we have Jacinda, who is actually Cinderella. And she is decided to get a whole bunch of get a petition and get a whole bunch of construction workers on get a petition to stop the construction workers from destroying the garden, which is actually, but while she was doing that, she discovered Victoria, because she was going to hide a letter to Lucy so she could get it later, right? And then Victoria, catches her, and then pretty much gets the. And then Victoria catches her and pretty much gets the people to the construction workers to start their job like right now instead of starting their job like a day from a day from now. You know what I mean in the TV. But anyway, so there's starting while Jacinda is getting this everything signed. Now we're going to go back to the New Realm really fast. Meanwhile, in the new realm, Henry, Regina, and Wish Hook find Cinderella at the Resistance camp. Find Cinderella at the Resistance camp, and they're planning everything. And it's like, and Regina's magic is working in this new realm. Finally, so the way they found her, um, they found them with a locator spell in the new realm. So everyone's feeling optimistic, like, oh yeah, we can actually do this. If we have someone with magic on our side, we can actually do this. And make a difference, right? And then all of a sudden, still in the new realm, Cinderella gets some sort of information, and so she goes to Lady Tremaine's house or mansion, whatever you want to call it, and there she discovers that Lady Tremaine brought in some coffin, and apparently who was in the coffin was some girl named, like, I think they said Anastasia. And so they brought her into she found a way to save her, technically, and Lady Tremaine did, and Cinderella's pretty much going there to save her friend, saying, but pretty much kill me, but leave everyone else. But then Lady Tremaine reveals the secret, how to save Anastasia. Like, she needs like a heart, not just any heart. She wants Henry's heart, because Henry's heart is he has the heart of the truest believer, and she pretty much says that, okay, either you, because she cast her hand so she could rip out Henry's heart. Lady Tremaine cast Cinderella's heart so she could rip out Henry's heart. And so how she pretty much lays down the ultimatum, she says, okay, so here's the deal. Either you rip out Henry's heart and give it to me, or I pretty much bring my army or whatever and kill the entire resistance. So she's really hesitant. To do that, and then she returns to the resistance camp, and it looks like Henry is sleeping, and she's standing over Henry's cot, and her hand is shaking because she's getting ready to rip out his heart, and then she's like, no. She has a change of heart and doesn't do it, and she goes and rips out some old guy's heart, because earlier on in the episode he said he would gladly die, he would gladly die for the cause. And then all of a sudden, Regina catches Cinderella about to leave, and then Regina talks sense into Cinderella about staying, and then she eventually stays. And she's like, oh, and we can't really use, magic, because she's waiting for us. Lady Tremaine is. And then they get ready to go storm the mansion, pretty much, in the new realm. Okay, now we're going back to Hyperion Heights. I think I might have just kind of messed up. I'm not really sure. I don't think I did though, but I think I pretty much said everything in the new realm already. That happened in the episode, pretty much. Okay, now we go back to Hyperion Heights. Now in Hyperion Heights, we have in Hyperion Heights we have the construct. We have Jacinda doing the. We have Jacinda doing the petition and signing all, getting all the signatures, and then we have the construction workers. They like hit like a piece of like the Seattle Underground, or at least that's what Henry thinks it is. And then all of a sudden Lucy says, "Oh, there's something heading down there," and then all of a sudden she jumps down into like the shaft, the cave shaft, and starts to look for whatever evidence Victoria Belfry is hiding in that whatever evidence Victoria Belfry she thinks is hiding in that little excuse me hiding in that like cave. And then they reach the end and there's nothing there, obviously. Right? Nothing there, obviously. And so and then eventually she finds at the end of the tunnel she finds like a piece of like glass. And it's just it kind of looks like glass, but Lucy is convinced that it is a piece of Cinderella's shoe when Jacinda was Cinderella. They got transported over with the curse. Now, meanwhile, at the petition, people signed the petition. People were signing the petitions. Victoria Belfry, the petitions are almost all done signing. Then all of a sudden, Victoria Belfry shows up and offers Jacinda a really good deal. Pretty much the deal is, oh, you know those new condos I'm building? You can have, if you burn up that petition right now, you can have Lucy and you guys can live in those condos. And so Jacinda doesn't believe that she's a fairy tale character at all. She believes she's just a regular human being, right? And so she burns up the petition, thinking, oh, I can get my daughter this way. And then Lucy finds out, is like, no, I don't want to. Gets really mad at her mom. Is like, no, I don't really want to be with you that way. I was like, I'd rather just stay where I am if you're gonna, act like this. But you can't really blame her now, can you? You can't really blame Jacinda the way how she acted. She was prepared to do anything to get her daughter back. So anyway, now we go to the police station. Like Rogers comes into the police station, and Weaver apparently made a deal with the guy Victoria Belfry hired and was letting him go. And Weaver is kind of mad at Rogers for ignoring his orders and lying to him about Kurt Dirty so he can open up a case without his knowledge. Right? Then, back in Hyperion Heights, we have back at Ronnie's bar, and Jacinda's feeling, like all depressed because she took the deal that Victoria Belfry, accepted. That she took the deal that Victoria Belfry offered her, and she wasn't okay with how Lucy reacted. She kind of felt bad. She kind of felt really bad, right? And then with the combination of Lucy and Ronnie, talked some sense into Jacinda, and then she went and got people to sign the petition again, and to sign the petition again, right? And to sign the petition again, and to say, I'm sorry, but we're not going to let Victoria Belfry destroy this. We're going to stand up and fight for everything, and we're going to make a difference. And then we see after that we see Henry, Lucy, and Jacinda like eating some like ice cream, or like yogurt or whatever they're eating, right? And they're like, yeah, they start talking, and then they're like, okay, and then they bring they start talking, and then they all depart. But before that, Lucy gives Henry the piece of glass that she thinks is loose, is a Cinderella's slipper, so to try to kickstart Henry into believing in magic and everything again. And then some time passes after they part, and Henry comes across the cemetery in Hyperion Heights. I believe it was called Hyperion Cemetery. And in that exact same cemetery, they find a let's see, Henry finds two graves that probably belong to his imaginary wife and daughter. We don't know 100%, but I'm like 95% sure the way how the look on Henry's face was when he saw the names on the graves. Anyway, now to close out the episode, we come across Victoria Belfry. She's getting a delivery of something kind of large. It's like okay, I got it from here, right? And she goes up this like building, or down this building, up or down. I think it was up. And she goes all the way to the very top of the building, and then she pulls out some person she has chained up there. I didn't catch the person's name. If whoever she has chained up there, his name got revealed. And they start talking, right? I think whoever it is doesn't like Lady Tremaine or Victoria Belfry any much. I think those two are going to fight eventually. And then they reveal what she was hiding. She was hiding Anastasia's grave. And like they said, the prisoner said, like, oh, did you get Henry to start believing it, or Lucy to give up her belief? And no, she hasn't. So we'll see what happens in the future episodes for episode 4. This is Ghost Jake signing off. Have a good night. Bye.